Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are actually talking about the latest privacy nightmare courtesy of Amazon. And here's what's going on, and this is coming from multiple sources, but I am cribbing primarily from Vice on this one because quite frankly, I love their snark over this. So, here's what's going on. Today, Amazon unveiled a host of new products, including Astro, which I presume is named for the dog in the Jetsons. This is a mobile Alexa robot that can capture every detail of your home's layout, follow you around on video calls, and apparently even recognize people's faces. Now, lately, Amazon is mostly known these days in the press for leveraging various forms of surveillance to make money on things like Ring doorbell and its deep ties to warrantless access via law enforcement. I've done videos on that in the past, and so it's pretty safe to say that most people that are actually keeping up with Amazon, nobody's really asking for these products here. And so to start, Astro is essentially a spy bot. According to Amazon, the robot uses machine learning to, and I quote, proactively patrol your home, investigate activity, and send you notifications when it detects something unusual. And it gives users the option to save these videos with Amazon's home surveillance product, Ring, as in the Ring doorbell I just mentioned. This thing even has an extendable periscope to basically be able to pop up, move the camera, and look around. Now, at the moment, you can only buy Astro if Amazon invites you to buy one, and it costs $1,000, $999. There you go. Now, Amazon already sells all sorts of Echo enabled, and I'll just use Echo because people hate it when I use the A word, and I know I just did. But they basically sell all sorts of Echo enabled devices that don't move around. And so the main case for Astro seems to be basically this $1,000 security device who Vice called basically for the incredibly paranoid. There you go. Now, using this app, or rather using an app, users can send Astro to, quote, check on specific rooms, things, people, and even pets, according to the press release. Now, according to CNBC, which actually spent time with Astro, Astro can even be set to recognize faces. And the example that CNBC did was Astro bringing a specific person a soda. So Astro, quote, will use deep neural learning to map anchor points in the home. But in basically an overture to people understandably very freaked out by this little robot, Amazon says that you can set out of bound zones in the house, for example, a bedroom. Now, the company has been looking for ways to expand its Ring home surveillance system, which police departments across the country, as I mentioned, tap into. And also, basically, Amazon now can have Astro feed these videos into this. So basically, as Astro goes on patrol, videoing your house as it's moving around, it can actually send this into your Ring ecosystem to basically sit alongside your Ring doorbell videos, and there you go. So basically now, law enforcement, also known as the government, could potentially have access into what's happening in your home. As I've mentioned, there have been cases of law enforcement being able to essentially have access into your Ring doorbell to see your footage, and if your internal house footage is sitting there as well, what's stopping them from doing that? And we'll get to that in a minute. Now, the company, Amazon, will also begin taking pre-orders for its indoor Ring camera drone, which will fly around your house and take video if it detects disturbances. And so there you go. And I love this quote from Vice because I think it's a great way to finish it before I start ranting and raving. And I quote, it remains unclear how many surveillance cameras and microphones the average person is willing to put in their home, but Amazon seems very invested in finding out. And I think that is a great, great statement because that's essentially what it seems. We have seen just how deep facial recognition can be. So for example, and I've used this before when they came out with the Amazon Echo video show or whatever it is, a little unit that had the video camera on it. Essentially, the microphone has to be always on and listening to everything. I've actually done videos with an Amazon Echo demo unit that I've got that it has to basically be listening for its trigger word. It can listen to everything. The apps or skills that it learns can leave the microphone open, as actually cybersecurity researchers have shown, and record and send that not to Amazon, but to third parties if it has a third-party skill that you've told it to learn, or basically its version of an app. There's huge problems with this, but think about this. One of the points that I made with the Echo Show with the video camera is that let's say you're walking around with like a Metallica t-shirt on And it sees that, it registers the logo for Metallica. Now Amazon knows you're a Metallica fan. So guess who starts getting alerts for concert tickets, for new album releases, for Metallica merchandise, all these kinds of things. And imagine this surveillance robot, Astro, rolling around your house, seeing things. And again, I'm not a fan of anything illegal, but maybe you do illegal drugs and boom, you've got a crack pipe on your table. Now, if law enforcement has access to this, can Amazon Astro identify your crack pipe and tell law enforcement that you've got narcotics in your house? These are things that we have to think about. And obviously, there are many more innocuous things as well, not to mention the fact that you might be able to set out of bounds from the bedroom so it won't roll into that room. But those microphones are powerful. If you've ever basically talked to an Amazon Echo, it can pick you up from across the room, even through walls, specifically if they're thin. So even if it's not there, it's always listening. I don't understand why people would put these things in their homes. It's the same thing with smart technology. Although with that's basically vulnerabilities into cybersecurity. Google, interestingly enough, in their Nest products, basically when somebody tore the Nest product down, found a microphone that wasn't in the official specifications. And Google said, oh yeah, our bad, it's dormant. We were going to put it there for like future releases or uses or whatever, and we just never got around to programming it. Okay, sure. These are things that we really have to consider. And if you've got a Google Home or an Amazon Echo or an Apple Home or whatever the heck Facebook portal, like the two of you that have that outside of actual Facebook employees probably required to have them, I don't understand why you would want to be giving this information away in this manner. Please, somebody just inform me for this. I understand the convenience of asking, hey, Echo, what's the weather like today? And getting an actual response. But with these things, having the ability to constantly record both video and audio, where does it begin and where does it stop? Do you want your intimate moments with your loved ones, your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever, to be actually captured and analyzed for advertising or anything else that this may be? And we've also seen where we've seen intrusions basically into our personal life when it comes to social media. I've mentioned this before, but New York State, for example, allows insurance companies to go ahead and look through your social media profile to see if they can find anything you're lying about. At what point does that pivot into, hey, let me talk, or hear about the recordings of this, and you're talking about, let's say, something deeply personal regarding your health information into this, and it's being recorded, or maybe it ends up in Astro as it's rolling around, video surveilling and hearing you talk in the other room about this. And now people that basically aren't in your ecosystem now have your personal health information. These are things that we don't consider when we are looking at these things and having these things around. Not to mention the fact we're all walking around with iPhones and Androids, which are essentially portable surveillance devices. So there you go. I mean, these are things that we really have to sit down and consider. And where we foundationally have to come to as a point in society is the agreement that we shouldn't have these things constantly on, constantly running, and we need laws that will actually protect us from the malfeasance. I would love to have these kinds of things. I think they would be cool. I can't trust any of them because I know just how easy, they are possibly to hack into. I mean, I've actually done demonstrations with an Echo on stage for those of you that have seen that demonstration of mine. But also this massive amount of data gathering. We are the most basically mined people in the history of humanity, and quite frankly, it's got to stop because we are losing control of our own internal thoughts as we are expressing them in the comfort of our own homes, and now Amazon knows them. That's a huge problem, and if you don't see that, you can't say you haven't been told if you've watched this video or listened to this podcast, but it's a huge, huge problem we need to address. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where you will be data mined, no doubt about it, or follow me on YouTube as well, where you will be data mined. But as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everyone.